keep this down a little bit so that way you're not pen reading.
I can't read anyway.
Fair enough. I can't read anyway. Partly true.
I'm not very good at reading at all.
Well, this is a number, so it's pretty easy.
Oh, fair enough.
My handwriting's pretty horrible, though, so we'll see.
I won't guess it anyway.
If you're off by one, that could be interesting. So, what I want you to do is I'll give you 2 hints. One, it is a 2-digit number. And 2, I will help you try and get it. So I want you just to imagine a blank screen for a second here. And just imagine that first number pops on the blank screen. And that second number pops on there now. But then suddenly something happens. That number completely changes to a different number. What number do you have in mind? What 2-digit number?
44. Facebook and how to use Facebook for your business. That's what we're going to be speaking about in today's chapter of the Business Library. I have Jakob here with me today. And we are, yes, be speaking about Facebook. I was as surprised as you probably are when I first spoke to him. But before we get into Facebook, this is of course sponsored by a free course on content marketing, which is down in the description down below, so feel free to check it out. Also, all Jacob's links are going to be down there, so check them out as well if you hear something that you like. So, first of all, why did you end up choosing Facebook for your business?
Well, first off, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I'll tell you what, it's not an answer that I think someone's thinking like, oh, he must have chose Facebook because it's the oldest one or because, it's got this. It's actually came purely out of necessity, honestly, because I didn't grow up really in, I'm 31 right now in 2024, going to be 32 here soon. When I was growing up, I was outdoors all the time. We'll get into this later, but I was a working speaker, magician, hypnotist. I was doing everything except social media. But Facebook was the one that I would do, and I would just share pictures. Because I remember I got my first phone to take pictures, constantly posting them on there. And I always just loved telling a good story on there. I noticed I got a good following. Everyone kind of knew who I was because of the magic and stuff like that. So I kind of got a huge organic following just going out and being a live person out there to build it up. And then when things started to transition, I was looking for more, obviously first gigs as a magician and speaker, and then finally gigs and opportunities as a filmmaker and as a content creator. It just kind of worked out, it just kind of, Facebook was just the strongest one. I have Instagram, I have LinkedIn, I have TikTok, I have all of that. Don't get me wrong, you'll see me post on all of those, but if I want something that's going to go out and get probably about a 10,000 person reach and lead to something that's worthwhile, Facebook's really the one that I always go to, and it's always has been. So hopefully that answers things. Hope that answers that why. It's just necessity, honestly.
For sure. Why do you think you do better in Facebook compared to LinkedIn? Because I for example, my preferable platform when it comes to any type of business or direct marketing is going to be LinkedIn.
Right, that's an excellent question, and I'll tell you, man, it's going to sound kind of like a cop-out answer, but it's actually, I think, true. I don't enjoy LinkedIn. I don't enjoy Instagram. I love YouTube, and I do good on YouTube, actually monetize YouTube too, but not using YouTube's monetization. I enjoy Facebook a lot. Facebook has always been the app in the ecosystem where I keep up with my friends. I've seen my friends build their own platform stuff off of Facebook too, so I got a lot of exposure from that, or a lot of influence, I should say, from that, and exposure, because I help them with things. But above all else, it's just I look at, and it is the biggest player out of all of them. Let's be honest.
Yeah, if you look at usage, you can't argue with the numbers.
Yeah, you really can't. It's very rare to find somebody that doesn't have Facebook on their phone.
The thing for me is I don't respond to people on Facebook. I see something that's 2 weeks old because it's 3 weeks since I've been on.
Yeah, and that tends to be the norm, I think. I think a lot of people now, a lot of normal people are using Facebook versus businesses, because I'll tell you what it is too. I think the reason I picked Facebook in a necessity way too was because all of the stuff that is this a PG program?
No, not at all. Not at
Okay.
all.
All the
We've
stuff that
said some wild
pissed
stuff.
off business owners. So if you're watching this right now and you're like, screw Facebook, I spent all this time building my Facebook business page, and I made a video for the header and paid some guy out to do it, and you took that feature away from me. You took off the reach of business pages. You don't let my group don't what. The thing is, I didn't get slapped by Facebook's rules changes as much. Same thing with Google. I didn't get slapped by Google slaps. Like some of you were running, some of you out there, they're veteran digital marketers. You know, you've got boots in the ground in like the early 2000s, and you're in the Russell Brunson era of putting out Google ads, and then the Google wax happened, where suddenly you're not getting you're not getting as much bang for your buck. You know, ad prices rise. I never had that, and to be honest here too, I've also, which will be a discussion later on, I've also never really paid for, more exposure. I've ran ads that are direct offers. They were great. They did good. But for what I'm monetizing most on Facebook, I'm not actually paying anything for it. That's the other thing. It just kind of worked out, So yeah, hopefully that didn't get too far from the main point, but that's a big reason, I think. that
I think
why
it follows goes very well into the next question I actually want to ask you, because what type of content works the best on Facebook? What is the type of content that you're posting that's working?
Yeah. So I think first off, it depends on your goals. So it really does depend on what your goals are. I'll give you a solid example here, right? Like content that let's also, before we get into this too, let's also define what I'm talking when I say monetizing Facebook, because I've done both. I've been paid from the Facebook algorithm for posting videos, just being a content creator. I've made quite a bit of money from that, but I've made much more money from not trying to get Facebook to pay me, but actually just doing this enough to get more push from them, if that makes sense, and then putting stuff on there that's more targeted, and maybe it's not going to mass 1 million views, but it's going to amass 500 views and be sent out to people who are other business owners that might see it and respond to it, or people that just already are on my friends and followers network that like who I am and want, or trust who I am, and they need a reminder that I exist and what I do, or just someone needs a helpful hint. So let's take from the side first off on what Facebook paid me for. So this is like the content that I created. It got, a lot of views, and it, turned out money. And this also, bearing in mind, happened about the time of 2021, 2020. So right when the Reels program started on Facebook. It's very different now. I still pay me a little bit, but nowhere near as much as they did, but I also don't put the energy in. So, because it's not as lucrative as the other monetization method we'll get into. So content that worked for it, honestly, was a lot of magic. So I was actually doing some magic videos and prank videos that worked in that way. But, for all of us out there right now that are business owners going, well, I don't want to make prank videos. I don't know any magic. You don't, it's not a good fit for that, honestly. So I think the thing to look at is, if you want to get paid from Facebook itself for your videos, you either need to be a huge public figure, build a huge public figure following, where you're going to get a lot of reviews, a lot of views on videos that are, business related, like the stuff that I now post, that aren't getting me, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 checks from Facebook, but they are getting me, 10K plus, clients, and, even more on the side when I go down retainer routes and things like that with video. So magic videos that had a hook, an interest peak. An interest peak is basically something that piques your interest, something that, the hook is something that draws you in. So maybe it could be a video where at the very start, I'll give you a good example. My friend Ryan Tricks TV on Facebook. Find this guy. You start studying his stuff, Some of you will love it, some of you will hate it, but I've seen this guy go from a guy struggling and still monetized on Facebook, YouTube, and everything, to now this guy's got easily way, like he's the highest paid person on from Facebook videos alone that I know. And I've seen the analytics real time. I've helped him make videos when we've met up. We just did one in Vegas actually. But Ryan Tricks TV, look him up for this. But a hook could be something like Ryan used, having a piece of like sticky tap or gum, like you see people stick on their cameras on their laptops, right? Because they're paranoid people are watching them. They are.
Probably, yes.
No, they're not. But he did that with the door of his hotel room, because he's making a video about, a way to tell if there's bed bugs in your bed or your hotel room. So that was his visual hook, was that thing going on the door. Then his interest peak was, I'm going to show you how you can tell if there's bed bugs in your hotel room or whatever, just by using the tools that are here. So he pulls out an iron and does his thing on the bed, and then you see all these black spots appearing under it. He does it again, and there's even more. The funny thing is, the guy just threw pepper.
Yeah, imagine it was a thing like that.
But this is the crazy thing. Overnight, Ryan got 4.5 million views on that video.
It's very creative. It's very creative.
Super creative. It's super creative. And Ryan got paid by Facebook for that, for those views, for retaining people on their platforms. And it's all about that. The videos and the content that do well, according to Ryan, they're not actually shorts. They used to be. That's what I made my money off of originally, but it's 3-minute length or so videos. That's the magic number. He says if he can make each of his videos 3 minutes, he knows, and it's got good visual hook, like a good visual pop to it. For example, you don't want to have, wearing a black shirt against a dark black background. That's not going to pop out in the feed. If he has that, a good visual hook, and then it's got a good retention to it of like a how-to or whatever, typically it does very well. So if you want some great examples of what's working currently, that's it. What I did in the past was I would make a video where it was just a minute to a minute and 30 seconds. I'd go into a bar, and I'd have this can. Again, this is not a PG channel purely, I hope. I had a can of incense that my friend designed for me, and it was one of those snake gags where you pull the thing off and the spraying snake shoots up in your face. But it was something a little more suggestive. It was a yes.
Oh no!
And if you want this, I should have brought it up here with me. I should have had it. If you want one of these, go to willieweapons.com. They are actually a client of mine. It's a shameless plug. But I made some videos for that, and they didn't get the results they wanted from it, so I posted them myself and got, I think like 1.72 million views, something like that. I still get paid from that content when it comes out. I still see on the feed that someone shared your video, and I go and look, and it's that video of a bartender open up this. I bring her a gift, and she's sitting there talking shit to me. Oh yeah, of course it's mine. She opens the can up and gets smacked in the face with a giant. So when you think about what you're going to make money from Facebook from, generally, unless you have a huge following, you're Alex Ramosi, you're one of those people, you're not probably going to make money from Facebook directly on the side of producing content, unless you're going to do things that are kind of traditional content for normal people, not business content like we're going to talk about in the next chunk here, right? So hopefully, do you think that covers and rounds off? Do you have any questions about the from Facebook side so far? I think that rounds it off pretty well. I do a good job explaining that.
Yeah, because I know there's so much more to it, but we could keep diving in for the next hour probably, we still wouldn't have covered everything. But I think it sums up everything pretty well. I think it's a good point for everybody to take, that it's actually better to make those 3-minute videos on Facebook, because a lot of the time people go to shorts and reels or whatever, because that's generally what works the best for mass distribution on any platform. no matter
Absolutely.
what platform we're talking. There's like a few exceptions. But they normally don't pay very well
Yeah,
on most
they don't.
platforms, at least.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we were talking about in Vegas when I was out with the guy I mentioned earlier, Ryan. He's like, "Yeah, I still get money from TikTok. It's nowhere near the money from Facebook." Because I think the thing is, like, none of these other. Look at it this way: if you're a platform you're on and you're trying to monetize from the platform, you need to create content that's going to keep people on said platform. If you're trying to bounce people off to your funnels, your web pages, they're not going to push that. The algorithms are smarter than you think. They're not going to push that. Same thing if you say, for example, were to like if you want to put calls to action in your videos, do comment. Say comment X to get whatever, for example. And again, we'll go into that when I talk about the non-Facebook paying element, but monetizing Facebook in the traditional sense of lead gen. And things that I've done, I think, are way more lucrative to people watching this right now. So, because whether you're a massage therapist, a manufacturer, or a model plane custom builder, these things are going to really benefit you. In the next kind of chunk here. But the other thing to look out for is if you want to choose a platform, look for a platform that has a mature and good ads system already. Facebook's the pioneer. Well, Google's the pioneer, but Facebook's the second, like the first pioneer on the scrolling and the impression sense, right? Charging per impression and having that scroll. I would say that TikTok's kind of there. I've seen it succeed with ads, but for the most part, find a platform that has a good ads thing already, not for the sake of you running ads, but for the sake of, you need to think about, if I keep people on this platform, is this platform making money? Right? And how can I help them make money so that they will pay me to bring more people and to bring more attention and retention to their platform? So hope that makes sense. But to briefly switch gears on the other side, monetizing Facebook in a way that you don't need to make a, funny prank video with that and all that stuff. It's way easier than you think. Like, really, think of it this way. How I've monetized Facebook in that way, which I did way before I got paid by Facebook themselves, and how I amassed, 5,000 people that were following me and in my wheelhouse there. Now it's up to 8K. And if I really pushed, I could probably get it up to 10, 15 if I really put the time into it. But the way I do it is this. If you want to find a starting block, the first step is go find groups related to the people that you want to engage with. Right? Before you even make the content, before you even do any of that stuff, go on groups. You want to talk, if you're somebody that, say you're like me and you're a video company that works with manufacturers, and you help manufacturers do X and X time and blah 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 like I do, you want to go to a bunch of groups of manufacturing people in them. You want to find the ones that are in there. If you can help it, put a post in there introducing yourself. Put a picture of yourself, maybe doing something related to manufacturing or whatever your business does for manufacturers in there. For me, it's a picture of me working in Cardington, Utah Technologies. I'm up on a bridge holding a cinema camera down at the giant robot arms, moving the stuff. And just create a quick, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, thanks for having me in here. And if you want to go really deep, go in there and become a part of that community. But the thing is, even if you don't want to do that, go to the friends and go through and strategically add about 10 friends a day. That means sit down, maybe put 15 minutes on your timer, and just scroll through the friends list and go scroll through the connections and members list and go, okay, Jared Smith, what does he do? Okay, he's the chief financial officer for Industrial Steel Technologies. Okay, this is somebody, I'm going to add him. And I'm going to send him a message too saying, hey, saw you in X group, just wanted to reach out, just wanted to connect, thank you so much, something like that. Because this is where the magic starts to set in. This is where the content comes in, right? First off, same thing with any content. You still want to have a hook. You still want to have an interest peak. What's, showing it, it's easier to do than you think. You still want value of some sort. If you're just making, obviously prank videos aren't going to get Jared, the guy we mentioned, to reach out to us and start a conversation with us and build
Probably not.
trust. Yeah, although they might like it, but they'll probably there's a good chance too they could just look at you and go, "Did this guy just really is claiming to help my business?" And he put a no. So that's why
I probably wouldn't trust the prankster. Like, you might build the like, but the trust, nah. You gotta be kept at a safe distance. I don't want to get pranked.
Yeah, that's it. And these are people that are like, older generation too. Like just now when manufacturers, we're seeing like people our age kind of coming in to take the jobs as the old ones are kind of fanning, as the baby boomers are kind of retiring. But anyway, so you want to create content that's got that hook, interest, peak, value, and of course a call to action. And we'll get into the best calls to action. I'll give you a slight look at it if you're like, oh, I don't want to wait. It's a comment call to action. Comment keyword to get whatever it is, or comment this for whatever. That's the best automation. That's the best call to action, in my opinion. But you don't want to have that every video because then you're needy. So you want to basically just make content that is going to deliver value in some way to your people. Now, it can be entertainment value, in the sense that maybe you do have a video that like you've caught something in a manufacture. You've got a piece of manufacturing footage, and it has some kind of humorous anecdote to it that would get people that understand that world to react to it, to follow it. Maybe you do have I'm going to show you how to send out, or I'm going to show you how to send out 1,000 cold emails in under 20 seconds without having to have some complicated system. And the best part is it's super easy, and I'm going to have you doing it in the next 20 minutes. Let's go. I think I said 20 minutes twice there, but you can have a hook and interest peak intro like that. But what you want to do basically is think about, what do my people really care about? And to do that, you need to talk to them. You need to show some love to them too. I'll be honest. Like, if I know this for a fact, because I had no real interest in manufacturing when I got into manufacturing, and I struggled to get gigs with them and to communicate with them. Once I started actually genuinely finding interest in it and shaking it and being like, oh, I'm basically creating like the business version of Modern Marvels. I don't know if you guys had that over there, but Modern Marvels is cool. It's a History Channel show where they showed how all this crazy stuff worked. So I realized that once I kind of shifted my focus and started loving the people, a lot more opportunities came because I understood them more. I understood their plights. I understood that they're answering, like Cardington Utaka Technologies I'm working with right now. They're answering to their Japanese, higher ups that are completely out of touch with what's going on in their operation, but they have to answer to them, right? And if you understand what that's like for them, and you make content that alleviates that, or in some way engages, it makes them like and trust who you are and gives them solutions, they will eventually reach out to you. And if you have a compelling story and you come across an honest, sincere, and caring person, it hedges the bets further in your favor. Like, I wish I could. I almost wish I was lying, because it sounds like such a huge thing, a huge lie. When I say that I've literally got 15 grand manufacturing gigs off of Facebook, just because somebody had been following me for years. I added them a friend from a long time ago that I thought was a good fit, and I'd slow roasted them into just feeling like they knew who I was before we even got on the call.
So, besides posting content, like, did you have interaction with that person?
Yeah, so what I would do too, and this is one of the automations I'm trying to build right now. So the best way to post things, if I didn't say this already, is on your personal page, by the way. Your business page, maybe, but I don't see it taking off that well. I've just learned that from testing on both sides, that my personal page has a much better reach, even though my business page has a good following too. So one of the things you'll find that doing automation on the side of the personal page is really hard. It's just not something Facebook allows at all. Like just recently, they added a new thing in like my social media manager that will allow me to schedule a post or a reel or something like that to my personal page, but I still have to actually go and physically pick up my phone and go approve it. So it's it's harder to do that versus a business page or even Instagram. Well, to an extent on LinkedIn, you can just automate and schedule things.
Yeah, it's
So,
not too much of a hassle.
I'm building a bot that's going to do this and actually have a list of, as I'm adding people on Facebook, I add their Facebook URL and it'll go on and it'll comment and like new stuff on their profile. Like once or twice a week it'll do that. But in the meantime, what I've been doing is literally that. What I'll do is I'll send them that message and send them that friend request. If they accept it, what's cool is this. So, Mads, have you ever had the experience of like when you've added somebody on Facebook that's brand new and suddenly you just can't stop? There's somebody that posts a lot, for example, and you just can't stop seeing their stuff. It just pops up on your feed every day, even though you don't really talk to them that much for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then the second you send them a message or they send you a message and you respond, suddenly their stuff's back. It's all over on your feed again.
I don't think I ever messaged those people, actually.
That could be it. So what's cool is if you can get a message back or a friend request, anything, you're basically pushing your content directly in front of their eyes for generally about a 2-week period. If they engage back with it, it gets longer. So, but the thing is, I don't just share business-related content. I just make nothing but, I don't just post, like you'll see, I've been actually pretty barren on posting reels recently. A lot of the stuff I do, and here's a huge one. So if you guys have sat through my rambling and you want something really cool to use right now, this is it. On Facebook, on the personal, I think you do on the business page, mostly on the personal page, there's this ability to put on these big, colorful background posts, right? Where you can literally, it's like a blue background and big white letters or big black letters. Maybe it's got gradients. There's different designs you can choose from. Those posting pages, you can just put some text in there and fire them off. I use those more than anything else, more than video even. Those get me more response and more gigs and keep my engagement up so my page has good push to it more than anything else. And I've got the metrics to prove it. And I've even automated that so that now, like, for example, here's a good one. Like, it can be something simple too, and it sounds again like, why would I want to post that? Why would I want my business connections seeing that? But understand this. Your business connections, I promise you, dude, they're tired of seeing artificial BS. They are tired of it. I know because I feel it, and I know because I know you probably feel it too, Mads.
Well, yeah, I would rather that.
Yeah, we're just tired of seeing so much artificial crap or smoke being blown up, our own butts, or sneakily blowing up someone else's butt, so that way we can piggyback on their what they've just done successfully. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. We're so tired of it. So the simple way, so that's why I preface all this. If you can go and create basically a super engaging set of questions. For me, I modeled the channel Shower Thoughts on Instagram back when it was still good. I went and I got a bunch of their old content when they used to ask thought-provoking questions, like, clever stuff like, I'm trying to think of one right now. Yeah, I think the one that posted today was if a taxi driver charges you to drive, or what was it? Darn it. Something about taxi driver, and do they owe you money if you go in reverse? But just silly little things like that kind of just people read it and they chuckle a little bit. Or, having a lot of that works for me immensely. I get a ton of extra engagement off of that. So that way when people do see it, they always have a good feeling whenever they see a post of mine. Or I'll make a longer post without that background. I'll make a story up about, not even make a story up, just tell my story. Tell a story from something I've overcame, and then have a call to action in it, right? The other thing you can do that's really great, so let's say, for example, someone out there watching is, in my industry, they're videographers. This is what I did a while back to really get things rolling again. I created a blue background post, said, I'm looking for 5. The niche I was looking for at the time was, what was it? It wasn't manufacturers. It was gyms, I think. I'm looking for 5 gyms who want a free video commercial to grow their business. Comment I'm in down below if you're open. Comment down I'm in if you're interested. Comment I'm in. What'll happen is you'll get a ton of people that are going to respond. Now, in my case, how I've got it figured out, because you might be thinking like, well, dude, you don't want to doing all this stuff for free and make a free video. What? One, if you're somebody just starting off, go do 5 free things, get testimonials from them, and then have them refer you out to other people. If you've already got the clout to back what you do and everything, and you don't need this, one, this post is going to get you a lot of engagement, and people are going to see a lot of people who want your stuff, which is great on the outside looking in. Two, once I got in the conversation with them at the free video commercial, I talked to him and say, well, look, I'll tell you what this is all about. What we're really looking to do is work with companies that, need a way to basically get more clients in the door. And, the video commercial is a freebie. And what we do is, you pay for our marketing services. So we charge you like a $500, $1,000, whatever your retainer is per month to distribute the video we're going to make for you and get more clients in the door for you. So instead of paying, maybe $3,000, $10,000, whatever it is, for one video, like I was used to doing, I would actually leverage it and give them the video for free, do a very simple video that I know is going to work, and then I would run their ads for them for average a year, ranging from $500,000, which per month, I should say, which basically is a lot less work as well. So thinking about that and consistency, you can build a lot of those up as well. You get all 5 of them if you think about it. You get each one a retainer for $500 a month. You've put whatever, I don't know, 20, what would that be? 2,500 times 12. You've just put that into your bank account from one Facebook post.
Yeah,
it's kind of nuts.
Simple math.
Yeah,
I think it's always good just to go out to do stuff for free. It's like marketing.
Yeah,
you just pay with time instead of cash.
I think there's
really
also
different.
this thing too where it gives you momentum too, doesn't it?
Yeah, I have this guy that he likes making short free videos and goes out and do it for people. He made one for me. Now he wants to make a second one. Well, if he keeps this up, whoever's going to ask me for a video, I'm probably going to feed him to him. Just because he keeps being there. And I think that's what's important with your content strategy. It sounds like you made it really simple for yourself. Nothing too complex. So you actually can be consistent and be there often. So whenever people think of your service, it's going to be you because you're in front of them so that much.
100%.
I think it's an important fact.
Yeah, and that's it 100%. I mean, if we simplified all the things we talked about into simple terms, it just comes down to live an inspiring, fun life and share it shamelessly on these platforms, and people will come to you. That's really
now that you say it here shamelessly, like whenever you mention this to a person, at least in my experience, it's what if my friends see it? What's your response?
Yeah, I get that one a lot. A lot. And it's this, right? I basically tell them some variation of, do you want this friend to be the person controlling your income flow? that's part of it. And usually go, well, no, but can't we post on my business page instead? And the answer to that one is same thing. Do you want this friend or your friends to control your income source? And they go, okay, that's a fair point. Yeah, I think a lot of people are just really self-conscious, and I found this to be a really freeing thing, and hope this is freeing for someone out there too. No matter how interesting and whatever, or ugly, or pretty, or whatever you or your life is, people are almost never thinking about you. And some people might think that's a negative thing. I think it's great. You know, it's like I'm very OCD if I get something on my shirt, right? Like the other day, I went to a spaghetti place I've gone to
Oh
for
no,
years.
no, 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 no.
Yeah, I was wearing a white shirt.
That tomato sauce is fucking lethal. It's a white
Yeah.
shirt.
Oh, it was even. It's not even. It's even tomato with meat. It's meat sauce on top of that. So
A
it
little
looked
bit of oily.
grody. It looked like a brown stain on a white crisp shirt. And
Oh,
I
rough
was
one.
so self-conscious about this thing. And then I went to, and then we went to the bar afterwards. I'm thinking, oh, we can't go to the bar because I got this thing on. And it's like, oh, just come on anyway. So we did. Nobody noticed. Not one person noticed. And I know this because I even brought it up. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad you guys didn't laugh me out of here. Like, you all have a good day. I'm so glad you didn't laugh me out of here because I had this big stain on my shirt. And they go, oh, well, you didn't even notice it. People are stuck up. We're all trapped in here. We're all trapped in our own heads. And the truth is horrible. It can be depressing for some people, but for me, it's really freeing. People just don't care enough, to have you be their main focus most of the time. So
Yes. Yeah, I like to call that main character syndrome. You
yes.
think you're the main character of everybody else's movie, which you fucking ain't. You only do
Oh my god.
unless you're famous, you're
Yeah.
not that.
Yeah.
You're only the main character of your movie. Maybe your mom or your dad, you're like one of the side main characters, but you're never gonna be the main character though.
That's it. And that's why I think it's just like when I see a lot of people that tell me like, and don't get me wrong, I've fallen into this too because I'm in a whole weight loss thing right now. I gained 40 pounds when I quit. I put down the nicotine vape for finally after years, and all that, and I gained 40 or so pounds from it. Like it was horrible, and I'm going to the gym, I'm working hard, and I'm down. But the thing is, I haven't made videos in a while because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little self-conscious about that.
Do you
But
want to have that other person control your income stream?
yeah, exactly. So it's not just that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. It's not just y'all. So trust me when I say I'm not trying to say that my yard doesn't have some blemishes in it. My yard's got some gray patches. Trust me, or some brown patches. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's one of those things where I found other. I mean, luckily my thing is going well enough that even just the blue background posts carry me. I still do post reels, not as much. But the more you do, the more you push out there, and the more engagement you can get, and the more inspiring you can be for other people, the better. Because sometimes you don't even know, like people you think hate you might actually be super into like who you are and want to help you, but they need that reminder you exist.
One
That's
thing to keep in mind if you're like on a profile on LinkedIn or Facebook, I want to point out is some people are not gonna like or comment on your stuff because they're fearful of what are other people going to think. Because I like or comment this stuff, because it's gonna show to their entire professional and personal network depending on the platform. So some people are not gonna want that at all. They're just gonna be silent watchers.
That's it. And I'll tell you what, the other thing too, because a lot of people are like, oh, but what about all the comments that come in that say, you ought to see Ryan's videos, because I think I told you earlier, like he's doing basically fake pseudo explanations for these silly things.
Oh, he's getting roasted.
Oh, it's real bad. Seriously, guys, go follow and like Ryan Tricks TV and go read his comments and see. Ryan's actually he's a super nice guy. I love Ryan. He's very tough looking and everything, but he doesn't. He used to care. He does not give a flying anymore. And even better, he responds to the comments and says really nice things back. Like that's the thing. Like I found this is kind of another part of it. I didn't really go super into, but it's super smart idea too. To when you get a negative comment, just ask them a question why they feel that way. Anytime you get a comment on a video or on any post, I just always try my best to ask them another question so they post again. Like their comment, reply, ask another question, give deeper in, and I just keep doing that. Because the more engagement you get on a Facebook thing, because remember, all these social platforms right now, what they're really optimizing for is genuine human interaction, genuine human connection. Which, what does that even mean? But that's, we got to use our imaginations a bit, and mixed with what we see working based on being on the platforms themselves. When we give people that attention, people, one, like it, and two, the platform likes it, and it sends your stuff out there more. So, all those hurtful, you will get hurtful comments. If you're going to dive into this, I get hurtful comments still, all kinds of hurtful comments, and is what it is. Like, I just say thanks for your feedback. What else do you have to say?
I actually like the comments where it's like a thought out roast.
Yeah, if it's thought out, I like that a lot.
I had business partner were doing a show. I got called the guy from Ratatouille. I don't remember which Disney or Pixar character he got called. That one can't be good. I was.
Are you the mouse or the chef?
I'm the chef, apparently. I'm the chef from Ratatouille.
I know.
That one, it was good. It was good. I appreciate that comment. It made my day. It made my day a whole lot funnier because it was hilarious. So I appreciate those kind of comments.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes they're really smart.
And I'm actually going to start asking people, why do you feel that? Because of the engagement. Because before I was just like, okay. That was generally my response sometimes to them. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. I'll tell you, here's another fun one. Try this sometime on a piece of content. This is something I just remembered. This is a good one. Sometimes what I'll do is, because I've got my workflow, I've really simplified it down. I've got a program that does a lot of my workflow, and it's super great. It's called submagic.co. It's really a fantastic program. It doesn't do everything I need it to do, but for reels and shorts, it does a fairly decent job. If anyone wants 10% off of that, go on, give a try on submagic.co, and then use code JAKOB, all caps, and you should get 10% off of whatever package you want. But and there is a kickback on that, so it is an affiliate code. So when you guys have the comments down below getting all butthurt, you didn't say it's an affiliate, blah 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 blah. I love when people say that. It's like, I gave you 10% off, and you're going to be a little bitch about the fact that it gives me back some of the money too. Fuck you. But anyway, no, that thing it's great. But I will purposely misspell some things sometimes. Sometimes even in the visual hook itself, which is where you have like a little animation down here, or a GIF or something, and then big letters talks like with the hook of what the video, what's going to get them to stop scrolling. Maybe it's like, why are I did this for a health coach the other day. We had a picture of someone is looking super grossed out as a GIF repeating down below here, and it said, "Why are cucumbers so gross?" But really, the video was about why are your cucumbers so gross? But then the video is really about how to tell by touching the tips of cucumbers whether or not they're good or not, and whether you should buy them. Which is pretty cool. But I'll purposely misspell those things, because then what happens is the grammar Nazis come in and say, "You misspelled cucumber." And the thing is, the funny thing about grammar Nazis, I've noticed this, they're not very smart. They don't read anything above, and they don't read. They're really self-centered people generally, so they tend to just like do their comment and not pay attention to anybody else, because they're all about themselves. So what will happen is they will come in, and tons of them will start commenting, "You spelled it wrong," or whatever the problem is in the video, and it just gets your engagement sky high. And then what happens is your fans that like the video for the real reasons go down and fight them in the comments.
So yeah, basically getting people to fight to boost your post. Okay.
Sometimes.
That's the best advice I ever heard. I really appreciate that. I think that's fantastic. Get other people to fight your battles for you.
Like, I don't post anything political or anything really religious, even though I'm a-religious and I'm apolitical. I don't, I have my opinions on them, but I don't discuss them with anybody. It's not my thing at all. But I used to shut down like arguments and political debates in my comments on my Facebook page. I used to be like, hey guys, take this somewhere else. People don't need to be seeing this. Don't do this on my thread. Now I just let it go. Because again, if they argue for 40 comments, which I've seen happen before, down on a post that has nothing to do with what they're arguing about, but they're arguing in your chat, it's just gonna push all of your engagement in general up. So people that are haters are actually your friends, believe it or not.
If it's American politics, I would be down there egging them on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, go.
Go.
Yeah, because I don't care. So I'm just there to have a fun time.
Yeah, that's it, right? That's really it.
I generally don't, because I'm not American. So sorry, but besides that, for people that want to get a better insight, either into making like the visuals that we spoke about, or learning more about your strategy, where can they check you out? What would be some natural next steps for them to take? We'll of course have the links down below in the comments as mentioned.
Right. Well, first thing is, seriously, it sounds kind of silly, but find me on Facebook.
I thought so.
Yeah, it literally. Well, it's not only like in the sense of like, oh, I'm gonna get on there and sell you stuff, but literally, like, I am a very normal person. I talk to a lot of people on there. Like, I still have a ton of like friends that are in the magic world on there, and I'm constantly on Messenger. I'm constantly chatting with them there. I'm constantly trying to share what's going on in my world. So it's the best place to get an idea. I feel like if you add me on LinkedIn, you'll still see me every once in a while do a post, but I don't know. It's just like
or something.
Yeah, it's just I'm bored. I'm just bored with the platform. You know what I mean? And that's kind of it. So you can follow me everywhere, but I would say if you guys want to like really keep in touch and you love to support and just get some free stuff too. I'm always giving away free stuff on Facebook. That's where people get free stuff more than anything. Let me know. I'll go ahead and attach in the comments down below here because I know some of you might have watched this and are like, well, this is great, Jake, but how do I write the scripts, for example, that go into the monetizing without Facebook kind of thing you're talking about? I'm a business owner. I want to make videos that are going to appeal to my people. Where do I start? Also down below here, I'll include a link to my AI chatbot training, so that what this will do is it'll teach you. It's a bot that I built myself. Go grab any article, any YouTube, any content that you personally have, and this will produce 5 different ideas from it, and then turn them into 1-minute scripts to make your shorts super easy with and they're programmed with hooks that have worked for not just the last 10 years, the last 100 years. So I've gone really deep and found, what works in journalism and everything, what's worked and what plays on everyone's psychology, regardless of technology, to, get their attention. So we'll include some of those resources down below too.
I'll have to check them out myself. Lastly, Jacob, just thank you very much for coming on. I had an absolute blast.
Yeah, you're a legend.
Having this conversation with you today.
Let's. I'll tell you what. Did I show you that? I guess let me show you something really quick while we're still on the air here. This will be the last little falling out thing. This could be your hook at the beginning of the video.
Well, thank you very much.
I'll tell you what. What is it?
I'll sit back and enjoy.
Oh no, you gotta participate, bro. This is all you.
Oh no.
Oh, so this is really easy. Have you ever gone to the carnival? And I don't know if they have these. I'm sure they probably do over in Europe. The guy that kind of like he guesses your weight, for example. Like he'll he'll guess your weight, and if he gets so far off, then you get a prize or something. For example, have you seen that person? You're trying to stump him.
I don't really go to carnivals. They are here, but I've never really been.
Terrified of clowns heard. All right. Uncle was a carny and hit me with a sledgehammer. Heard. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to try and guess your weight. I'm going to try and guess your thought process. But since you're creative, I'm going to try and do something a little bit different and try and guess your logical thought process here. So what I'm going to do here is keep this down a little bit so that way you're not pen reading.
I can't read anyway.
Fair enough. I can't read anyway. So
That's
what I've got
true.
on here, what is it?
That's partly true.
Partly true.
I'm not very good at reading at all.
Well, this is a number, so it's pretty easy.
Oh, fair enough.
My handwriting's pretty horrible, though, so we'll see.
I won't guess it anyway.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. If you're off by one, that could be interesting. So, what I want you to do is I'll give you 2 hints. 1, it is a 2-digit number, and 2, I will help you try and get it. So I want you just to imagine a blank screen for a second here, and just imagine that first number pops on the blank screen, and that second number pops on there now. But then suddenly something happens. That number completely changes to a different number. What number do you have in mind? What 2-digit number?
44.
Okay. Now, or 36, or 27, or 92, or whatever. Do you know why?
No, not at all.
Because any number is possible. Any number. Well, between 10 and 100. This is a 2-digit number. And look, we didn't set this up or anything, right? Does it get that clear?
Yeah. Normally, last time you got this wrong, actually.
I did. And I think that
Fuck off!
is a pretty solid closer.
What? Yeah, fair enough. Impressive. Oh, that's gonna be fun there.
And with that, folks, to everyone a good night. Follow me on Facebook and other social platforms. Show some love to your neighbor. Post lots of things that are kind of awkward but get people engaged in who you are, and share that story. And, think of numbers and see if I can guess them. See ya.